Hey everyone, and welcome to my January 2021 plan with me. So, this is going to be about a 15-minute video of me setting up January and the first week. I first start off putting a cloud card on the page, which I normally put a calendar, but I decided to put the calendar underneath my word January this time. I might continue to do that. I'm going to put a cloud card on each month, so I probably won't have the room to put a calendar on there. So I traced out my wolf in pencil first, and then now I'm going over with the fine liner or the black Budenosuke pen, and I end up using blues and grays to paint in. And since January is supposed to be like a cold month, your winter month, I decided to go with cool colors for this. Actually, on one of the pages, I end up doing a really warm painting, which kind of didn't go with the theme, but I just kind of wanted to have something a little different in there. So I wrote out the calendar right underneath January, and I'll spend a bunch of time painting and adding little details to my wolf. I did want this wolf to kind of seem as if it's still white, like a white wolf. So I used gray, kind of adding a little bit shadows and things like that, but I let white really prevail in the wolf, and everything else around it is going to be deeply colored, so that helps the wolf actually stand out a little bit more as white. And I'll skip through a bunch of this painting. I used the Arteza watercolor in the tubes. I have the pan as well, but I wanted to try out the tubes. And I made sure to not use too much water as I did in my 2021 bullet journal, and how all the color leaked through the page. So, but yeah, I just added the color to it, used as little water as possible to make it go. So this next page we're working on is my calendar page for the year, and I wrote 2021 and January on the other page, and this is like maybe a little bit a page and a quarter, because then I decided to draw a big wolf on the page as well. And the quote that I end up using on this page is, "Once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know, live and die on this day." And that is from, what movie is this from? I'm drawing a blank, I don't even know it. The Liam Neeson movie, The Gray. And every time I think of wolves, I always think of that quote, so I decided to add it into there. And I put my calendar as floating boxes on this month, and I'll end up highlighting or putting a drop shadow to kind of make it pop out a little bit more. So this wolf is going to be black and white as well, mostly line art that I used. And then I colored the eye blue, and that's pretty much all the color that I add into this wolf. Just something really small. Well, not really small, it's kind of big because it takes up most of the page, but just simple and easy. Alright, now I am going to be working on putting that drop shadow to make these page pop out a little bit more. But other than that, I really kept it simple and plain, and I didn't want to overthink it for the new year. On this page, I decided to separate my monthly to-dos and things like that into 4 sections, and I put tasks, goals, bills, and highlights, and then I put a line to separate each side, and then I end up drawing a mountain theme, and then it turns out being very warm colored instead of a light. I should have done a snow one, but I just kind of wanted to play around a little bit with some color because everything was really plain. And then I have a moon in the background, and then there's a water theme on the bottom half of the triangle, and it's a reflection of the top. And then instead of leaving the page as is, I decided to grab my metallic inks and put a gold border around the painting and kind of have it like dripping and like rising as well. Moving on to my weekly daily task, I put what I would want my ideal week to look like, and my ideal day, and 3 tasks that I want to make sure that I get done every morning, afternoon, and evening. And I just put these little boxes and put the days of the weeks in them, and then I put the time stamps on the daily side to try and figure out like around what time I want to do certain items in my day. And I kept it really simple, plain, and then I started to draw another wolf on the bottom of the page, but didn't really turn out well, so I just put a black piece of dotted paper on it to cover it up, and I can write and draw later if I feel like it. And this is a really short, quick section for my brainstorm, and I drew this out on my iPad and printed it out on sticker paper so that I didn't have to try and figure it out on paper. And I tried to color it in with the metallic silver paint, and it doesn't show. So all of that was kind of just a waste. I put a couple of flowers and colored them in on this brainstorm, and that's pretty much it for this page. I kept it really simple. I tried doing a dark blue highlight underneath Brainstorm, and it turned out to be a little too dark, so I didn't want to make it any thicker, so I just kind of left it alone. Alright, so this is going to be our first weekly setup of January, and I used a thick line and then a thin line underneath each dividing section of my journal or each day, and then on the first page at the bottom I had a habit and a to-do section. I wrote the day 28 just to kind of go beside the day that it is. The 28th is the first day of the week, and I put the calendar in and I drew out a diamond around it, and then I'll end up covering the diamond with a silver paint. I was going to draw a bunch of flowers on here, as you can kind of see around it, but then I decided against it. I felt like that would make the page a little too busy. So I had my weekly to-do list, and then I have a habit tracker right here, and then I end up writing the days of the week. And then on this page, I have just the rest of the days of the week, and then a long section to write any notes that I might want to add where particularly won't fit on a specific day of the week or a to-do list. Just things I want to take a note of on this week. And then I added another one of those stickers in the opposite direction and added the days of the week, and that's really pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and write the days for the habits that I wanted to track. And now we'll just go ahead and do a little flip through. I'm definitely going to enjoy using this journal for this month, and hopefully it'll go smoothly. I hope everybody has a great first of the year. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy what you watched here. And as always, thanks so much for watching.